Welcome to Voice Bootcamp, a global name in unified communication. Hi, my name is Faisal Khan, CCI Voice Instructor at voicebootcamp.com. In this top chapter, we'll focus on Cisco Unified Call Manager as part of UCCE components. Now, the next we will look at the Cisco Unified Communication Manager or Unified CM. Now, Unified CM is the next stopping point for signaling within a call flow. All calls to and from the agent will go through or at least signal through the communication manager. So Unified Communication Manager acts as a PBX for UCCE solution. A unified CM cluster is a logical relationship of a physical servers combined for redundancy purpose. So in a cluster you will have at least 8 call manager processor and up to 20 servers acting as various role within that unified CM cluster. Unified CM is one of the UCCE component that must communicate with all other UCCE components. Unified CM ask ICM what to do with the UCCE call and route the calls according to the instruction provided by the UCCE Unified Contact Center Enterprise. Now, Unified Contact Center in UCCE, basically, if you take a look closer at the call manager, we see that it is made of multiple physical boxes that are bundled together, logically called cluster. So a cluster is a combination of multiple physical devices that logically share the same configuration. For example, we can see two phones, number 1000 or 2001 and 2002, have a primary registration to a separate servers in our unified CM clusters. Now, logically, these separate physical servers share the same cluster configuration. So any event, if one server goes down, the other one can provide the services. The reason why the phones are registered to separate server because for the redundancy purpose, and only half of the phone would go down in the event that there is a subscriber failure. Now, of course, if you provide a backup subscriber, that failure will not cause too much of a problem. This concept will become a key aspect in our design and sizing consideration for Unified Contact Center Enterprise. Another important concept to understand is the difference between the call signaling, signaling and passing information back and forth. The phone communicates with the CUCM is either via skinny or SIP. Skinny or SIP can be used for client-server based protocol. In this case, the phone is the client, the call manager is acting as a server. In CCE solution, Unified Contact Center Enterprise, IP phone can be skinny or SIP or any mix on the same cluster. Now, to better understand the design principle, it is important to have a basic handling on call flow signaling. When you call from one phone to another phone, it sends a message to call manager that it is registered to the cluster, or that it is sending a message to the call manager where the phone is registered to. The CUCM manager then send a message back to play the dial tone and start collecting digit. As the caller starts dialing the number, the call manager will collect those digits and try to find a potential match to set up a call. Now, notice that phone is using skinny as a protocol to establish the call. So in this case example, the step number 1, the phone establishes a communication with the call manager where it's registered. Step 2, the registered call manager realizes that the phone does not belong to his own cluster. It belongs to a cluster that is located somewhere else. So it will send the signal to the second subscriber in step number 2. Second subscriber will then send a call to the phone because that's where the destination phone is registered to. Once the call is connected, step number 4, where the both phone will establish a direct RTP connection, so that in the event of a network failure, as long as the phone is connected and online, it should be able to continue to communicate. Of course, if the switch or the power goes down, that's a different scenario. Cisco Unified Communication Manager Database Architecture. The the publisher contains the main database based on IBM Informix database, and publisher always has the capability to read and write the database, whereas subscriber do not have the capability to read and write. Basically what the subscriber do, it pulls or push the configuration from push the database from the publisher and make it a read-only database, whereas the publisher contains a read and write. So if a user makes a change in subscriber, that change will take place in the publisher, and the publisher will then replicate those changes to all the servers. Replication of the database and user-facing features. The publisher contains the writable database. However, each subscriber will have a copy of the publisher database as a read-only, but all the servers contains a database called user-facing feature database, which is basically provide or store information that are changed by the end users. That change will be saved on those servers, whether it's a publisher or subscriber, doesn't matter, but at some point they will be replicating throughout the entire environment. So when a user is going on a vacation and he or she pressed the button called do not disturb, because he or she made the change on the dynamic or on the fly, that change will be saved on a local user-facing feature database on the subscriber as well as publisher. Now after a certain time, subscriber will replicate that information to all other servers so that the complete replication will have the accurate information. A call processing subscriber redundancy. When you're designing redundancy, it makes sense to design the redundancy based on, of course, your budget and various other factors. You have a redundancy scheme that is based on cost-efficient redundancy, degraded services during upgrade. And then you have a redundancy scheme where you have a high availability during upgrade and simplified configuration. So in this scenario, in 2-to-1 ratio, you will have three call manager server, one backup and two active. So in this case, the first server the first server can handle up to 1 to 2,500 phone, and the second server can handle up to same number of phone, but starting from 2005 2501 to 5000 number of phone. However, the backup server will be acting as a backup for both sides. Should one of these server goes down, these first 2500 sets will be registered to the backup call manager. Now if both of them fail, then the backup call manager should be capable of handling 5000 phones in total. 1-to-1 ratio, where when a high availability is concerned, for every active call manager you'll have a standby call manager or backup call manager. So in this case, I have two active call manager, and I have a backup for that particular call manager. To design a call manager cluster to support maximum of 150 agent, you need a publisher and a backup subscriber. If you want to design a solution for 500 agent, you need one primary call manager, one backup call manager. If you're going to support 1000 agent, you need 4 servers in a 2 group. So the first group will have a primary and a backup, second group will also have primary and a backup. To support 1500, you need in total of 6 servers, and to support 2000 agent, you need total of 8 servers to to ensure that the call manager is sized properly for the contact center enterprise. Now the function of the Cisco Unified Communication Manager and the CTI Manager. So Unified CM design consideration, when you're designing a contact center, you're going to make sure that your existing unified call manager cluster or a new one should follow certain consideration for designing. That you must have a separate agent cluster where all the agents are connected, or you can have a mix with a back office system. Do you have a multiple cluster? If you do, then your contact center design will of course be different. The deployment model, which will be discussed in the next lesson, will play a vital role of designing your unified communication manager. The choice of protocol, gateway to the phone that needs to be used, size of the clusters versus model of unified CM hardware. All these are factors when you're designing unified CM. So when you're designing it, make sure that you understand the pros and cons of all these features. Now, agent phone and features. Cisco Unified Communication Manager provides various endpoints to act as an agent phone. In Unified CCE 7, agent can be SIP phone, model 7941, 7961, 7970, 71 devices. In ICM 8.0 now supports multi-line phone as an agent phone on 6900 series, 8900 series, and 9900 series. Unified IVR is notified of the caller entered digit by way of JTAP messages. The unified IVR does not support mechanism to detect inbound DTMF. In the deployment of the SIP gateway or SIP support, that only inbound DTMF are configured to use inbound DTMF. For example, call manager must invoke media termination point to convert the inbound DTMF signal to out-of-band signaling. Now, Cisco IP phone agent or IPPA can run as an IP phone XML services and associated with a particular phone. So user can use a desk phone to provide call center solution. An IPIPA is a CAD-based agent interface that does not communicate with CTI OS service. However, IP phone agent cannot be used as a backup agent interface to CTI OS agent. When IP phone agent or agent state controls such as login, logout, ready, not ready mode through an IP phone XML application, IP phone agent control is handled by the normal call control function on the IP phone itself. Now, these are some of the agent phone that can be used from depending on your price. You can go from skinny and SIP to 2-button phone wideband to all the way to 8-button phone wideband support using G722 codec. The new multi-line agent phone, you have 6929, 6941, 61, 89, 61, 99, 51, and 71. Now these phones can support multi-line agent phone. A multi-line agent features allows UCCE to monitor multiple line, enabling the support of join across the line or direct transfer across the line feature. Multi-line functionality is now exposed on the agent device as well. So multi-line support will apply to legacy phones such as 7900 series as well. UCCE contains the notion of a single ACD per line per phone. All other non-ACD or ACD on secondary line. When considering multiple line, the system can be configured to accept or reject inbound non-ACD call. So basically what's going to happen is you have line 1 and line 2 on a phone. One of the line is ACD control, meaning that the ACD is monitoring that line, but it's not monitoring the second line or your first line. So there are multiple things that you can do. You can either reject any inbound call on that particular line, or you can use that line to make an outbound call, or you can join calls on the both line, which is called join across line. IP communicator can be used as an IP agent for people who are working from home or hotel or remote area. A software application runs on agent PC. Application is fully emulation version of 7970. It allows you to take your agent ID and office phone extension with you on the road or home. Offers features priority with the Cisco's advanced IP phone. The phone design consideration: hard phone versus soft phone. No QoS guarantee with a soft phone. What if your house PC goes down? Well, phone model support feature availability, like such as 7960 works, but monitoring capability is not available. Agent desktop may drive phone choices. For example, if I am an agent desktop, I'm going to use my PC most of the time, then I have a choice to either use a soft phone or a physical phone. And the protocol can be used by the phone is either SIP or Skinny.